What's up guys, Jason Richardson here again, and today we're going to be covering some obscure string skipping approaches that I really like to use a lot. So this is a section from my song Retrograde off of my album One, and the way I wrote this part was I had an idea in my head. So earlier in the song there is this melody. It's very slow, just kind of like eighth note, straightforward, like ambient melody, and it sounds like this. That's the melody that's in the song earlier, and instead of just using a dotted eighth delay in order to create this part, I had the idea is, okay, so what if I just learned how to play it, all the notes in it as if it were a dotted eighth note delay. So I opened up Guitar Pro and just filled in all the gaps with the idea that I had in my head, and I listened to it back and it sounded insanely sick, so I just forced myself to learn it that way as I wrote it out in there. I don't use Guitar Pro to write exclusively anymore, but if I have an idea like that and I want to hear it before I try and play it, that's what I'll use to get that idea out, to know if I'll even like it or not, if it's worth practicing for hours on end to be able to perfect. So in this case, this one was, and this is what the lick ended up sounding like. So with this, I try to maintain strict alternate picking always, but sometimes for passages like these that are not necessarily like written on a guitar first and then learned later, you get some weird inside and outside picking things, as opposed to, getting stuck inside the strings is like a very bad thing. That's not good. There's less range of motion that you can have. So the goal is to always stay outside as much as possible. And what I found is sometimes with these passages, I unintentionally, just because I've been working on stuff like this for so long now, that I unintentionally will do like 2 downs in a row or 2 ups in a row or something like that in order to maintain staying outside of the strings as much as possible. So I'm pretty sure it looks like the first part of this, you either would want to do 2 downs in a row at the very beginning or a pull-off. Either works, whichever you want to do, just so that way you're not stuck inside at the very beginning. So for me personally, I do 2 down picks in a row right at the very beginning on the. That's how I play it. So after that, that sets you up for the next little bit to stay outside of the strings as much as possible. So. And I think right there I do 2 downs in a row over this string skip to, again, this is all just to try and stay outside as much as possible with all of this string skipping that's going on. Especially with things like there, like that 2-string skip right there. This next part right here in particular, where I think that there's like a 3-string skip. Yeah, it looks like I'm doing 2 downs in a row on the D and the low E. Just so you can maintain that kind of palm mute, so you can get that real like good pop in between the palm mutes and the higher register strings that are going on.